Oh, buddy. Oh, man. Atlanta Marathon was wild. I set a personal record, 3 hours and 24 minutes and some odd seconds, and on a hilly course, right? Now, this is after racing 6 marathons this year for the 50 States Marathon Challenge. So far, we've gone through 5 states. We're a tenth of the way through. I raced Houston and Austin, so that's Texas twice, just because they're 2 really big marathons, so I figured I should race both of them. But anyways, I've set a personal record over the past, like every single time over the past 3 weeks, I think. Because in Mesa, my record at the start of the year was a 3:39 in Houston, which that was wild because I thought I was going to be doing like a 3:50, 3:40, or sorry, 3:50, 4 hour. It's been a long week. Then in Mesa, it's a downhill course, so negative elevation, and I had a 3 hour, 33 minute there. Then I get to Austin, and it's like a hilly course, 1,400 feet of elevation. And I did a 3:26 in Austin, right? So that's 3 personal records so far. Then I did a 4th personal record yesterday, or 2 days ago, whenever it was, at the Atlanta Marathon. And it was 1,800 feet of elevation. So not only has the elevation gone up 3 times now, right? Because Houston was pretty hilly, then Austin was even more, and then, Atlanta is crazy hilly. But I've been able to go faster every single time. How have I been able to do this? What has been the thing that has unlocked that thing within me? I'm that guy now because something happened. So what was it, right? Well, the commonality between all these races, I had someone to race alongside, to push me, right? The first one, I was pacing with this guy named Maurizio for 18 miles. So for the bulk of the race, I had someone there to, both of us were kind of like pushing each other. Not really in that first one, because I was still getting into the whole marathon groove, and I didn't really want to, get too excited and sprint and then fail and anything like that, right? So for the first one, I was just going, but it was nice to have someone to speak with, right? Then I get to Mesa and set the record there. It's a downhill course, and I had 2 buddies that I was running with. One ended up, going a little slower, so the one I was running with until mile 22, he was holding me like to it. We were going super quick, right? And this is him. I think it was his first marathon ever, but together we were kind of pushing each other, right? And that was crazy. Then I get to Austin, and this was, a huge drop, going from a 3:33 down to a 3:26. 7 minutes. That's a lot of time to do in 1 week, especially going from a downhill course to an uphill course, because Austin is super hilly, right? And what happened there, the buddy I was racing with there that I met the day of, all these guys that I raced with so far, I met the day of, as we were racing around mile 3. This guy's name was Nate. Nate was pushing me, and I was pushing him, and we were encouraging other people, other runners, and hyping up the crowd, and it was a great day. There's so much energy going around, and that, like him pushing me, because I think he's in the Army. Is it the Air Force? I don't know. Sorry. There's the guys I ran with last week at the Atlanta Marathon. They're in the Air Force. I'm starting to lose track. I need to write these things down. That way I know, because like these are all people that I want to be friends with, right? Regardless, Nate, he's pulling that greatness out of me, pushing me to go further. And we ended up both setting a personal record that day, right? Even though it was a super hilly course. Then we get to Atlanta, and this was my hometown. And so I ran the Atlanta Marathon last year, 5 hours and 5 minutes. So how much can you drop in 1 year? Well, I already knew I could do a 3:26 from the Austin Marathon, but Atlanta's even hillier than Austin. Austin was 1,400 feet of elevation. Atlanta's 1,850 feet of elevation over the whole course, right? And I still set a personal record, 3 hours and 24 minutes. And why is that? Because I had some guys that were pulling that greatness out of me. I was running with a group of guys. They were in the Air Force, and they were all, coming from Colorado, so they had trained out there, and so their lungs were really good, or whatever it was. They were pushing me to run 740s, even though I was going for like a 750. And 10 seconds is a lot for 3.5 hours, right? 10 seconds of pace, because that's every single mile for 26 miles, running 10 seconds faster. You see what I mean? Regardless, all this is to say, I've been able to achieve the greatness that I've been able to achieve over the past 6 weeks because of the people that I've run with. It's not like the race is set. The course is there. So the amount of training that you put in dictates how you'll perform, right? On top of that, the people that you race with, and this is the main kicker, dictate how you perform. Because even though the course is different for all of these different places, it's more hilly in Atlanta than it was in Mesa, I still was able to set a faster personal record in Atlanta because I knew that I could do it from Mesa, but as well, the people that I ran with, had put training into it, whatever the thing was, right? What I'm trying to say is this, like, if you treat your life as a marathon and the course is the situation that you've been born into, it does not matter what you've been born into. That's your course. So you can't change that, right? Then on top of that, you got to surround yourself with the people who will help you run your course better, faster. You need to surround yourself with the people that will pull that greatness out of you. Great people unlock the greatness within you, and that's what you need to win this life, is to surround yourself with the great people, or just one. This is my buddy Tyler for me. As iron sharpens iron, so one man shall sharpen another. That's what you need. You need to surround yourself with great people. And then the third is that the amount of training that you put in. It's like how often are you thinking about improving your situation in life, getting faster for the marathon, whatever it is, building that vision that you have for yourself in here. How often are you thinking about that? How often are you making moves towards that? I don't know if it's just those three things, but after I'm done with this 50 States Marathon Challenge, I'll sit down and watch through these videos again and write down all of the lessons that I've learned from the metaphor of life as a marathon. Because it's just incredible the things I've been able to learn and been able to do over the past 6 weeks. This is 6 weeks. I have 11 months left, 10 and a half months left in the year, right? Come on. I mean, technically it's February 28th. I have 10 months left. That is 40 weeks. So if I'm dropping 2 minutes a week, technically that's it's not going to happen linearly the entire 40 weeks. That would be 80 minutes, hour 20. That would put me at a 2-hour marathon. I'd be a professional at that point. That's not going to happen. Who knows? But, my point is this, like, I don't know, you don't know what you're capable of. There's so much time on the clock. If you really put in the work, you can make great things happen. One way to kickstart this progress towards whatever you're trying to do is to find the people who will help you, and then that you can help as well. It's not about me, it's about us. How can we move forward together? How can we make the world a better place together, right? That's all it is. We are made to be in communion with each other. Yeah, so Atlanta Marathon was crazy. We've got our first double marathon weekend coming up this weekend. It's wild because I'm going to have to fly to Myrtle Beach, run a marathon Saturday morning. Then I'm going to have to fly Saturday night to Little Rock, Arkansas, and run Little Rock Marathon Sunday morning. It's going to be wild. I've done 16, then 17 for the 1 More Mile challenge. So I think I can do it. I ran 98 miles that last week of the 1 More Mile challenge, where I ran 1 mile every single day, 1 more mile every single day for 17 days, which is not that impressive. There's a lot of people who are there's a guy who's doing that every single month for an entire year, and he's on month 10. So he's gotten up to 31 10 times now. That's kind of crazy. But anyways, this is a video I made earlier. I don't know if I talked about it or not. I'm starting to lose track of what videos I've talked about. I need to catalog this better, keep up with everything. But anyways, one of the videos that I talked about, or maybe this was a daily marathons video, daily wisdom. That's what it was. Redefine what's impressive, right? To me, running a double back marathon is not that impressive because I've seen guys run 100 miles. I've seen guys run this guy, Mark Dodal, 26 miles, then 27, then 28, then 29, then 30, then 31, all back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And then do it again the next month. So it's not impressive. My definition is different, and it's pushed me to move forward. I don't know. There's so much stuff going on in my head right now. I had to record this video twice, and I haven't really ever had to do that. Usually in the first 30 seconds, I'll know if I'm set for speaking the entire video out. And maybe I'll post that other one. I don't know if y'all can hear that thunder. That's crazy. Maybe I'll post the other one after this as like an example of getting more concise, more clear on your thoughts or what you're trying to say. Because, I don't know, when there's too much going on, you get lost, and then you're not able to put down the best results. Like if when I'm running the marathons, I don't listen to any music whatsoever, right? I just go out there. I'm not looking at my phone to check what mile I'm on. I'm just going for it. There's no progress to check in. There's no, oh, I have to beat this guy. It's me. I'm running my race, and I'm putting in a great day. I'm enjoying it, you know? Why would I struggle through this marathon? Most people do one marathon in their life if they ever decide to do one at all, right? They don't really go on to that second one. And so if I'm doing this all the time, it allows me to remove that weight. I can just enjoy it. I don't have to worry about other people, how fast they're going. I'm running my race. You know, life as a marathon. You have to think about it that way. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That whole phrase is an incredible metaphor for how to live your life. And I'm not running the 50 States Marathon Challenge as a way to write a book, as a way to make a ton of money. Like, I just like to do things like this, right? This is just my life. This is who Wyatt Moss is. This is the definition, how I've defined myself, my story, what I want to do, my vision for my life is this, right? The more and more that I run these races, I start to understand that there's incredible lessons to be learned in putting yourself in difficult situations on a weekly basis. Tyler, my best friend, brother, challenged me to run 1 mile every single day. We put $1,000 on the line to hold each other accountable to it. And that kick-started getting back into shape. Tonight is day 143, right? Of running at least a mile every single day. And some days I'll go for like 10 miles. You know, when I was training for the marathons, I had that in mind. I would go, do the 1 more mile challenge. I would do a half marathon like every third day or every other day. Then like 5 mile runs and stuff like that. Right now I'm just doing 1 mile the entire week, then the marathon on Sunday or Saturday, just to keep my legs fresh, right? And mainly my tendons, because you don't want to have any ligament or tendon issues. Wow, that's loud. But he's a prime example of surround yourself with people who are gonna pull the greatness out of you. You know, I would not have been able to run any of these marathons at the level that I've been able to if he didn't challenge me to that 1 more mile challenge, or the 1 mile a day challenge. Maybe it was him, maybe it was me, whatever it was, the two of us challenged each other. That's the thing, it doesn't matter. Iron sharpens iron. It's not like this iron sharpened that one. No, the act of sharpening one sharpens the other. The two sharpening each other sharpen each other. It doesn't matter which one is the one sharpening, right? I hone my skills by teaching people what I've learned. I get better at communication and sharing this wisdom and, giving the distilled version, the necessary components, not this long drawn-on story that won't make sense and won't connect with the audience, right? But then as well, they're sharpening me by forcing me to do that, but then I'm sharpening them by learning or teaching them that wisdom. You see what I mean? Iron sharpens iron. Surround yourself with people who are going to sharpen you, help you live your best life. It's incredible. And then put yourself in a situation where you're forced to do great things on a weekly basis. And maybe not like, don't try to, I got to come up with a practical list of things that you could do. That way no one tries to throw away their life doing something absolutely crazy every single week. But start with just running a mile every single day, because that forces you to show up for yourself every single day. And don't put a limit on it. Don't say I'm doing this for a year. This is my life. I'm running a mile every single day for the rest of my life now. That's just who I am. That's Wyatt Moss, right? You got to adopt that because that's who I am now. I'm that guy who does that, right? And how many areas of my life do I want to do that in? All the vision that I built for myself. I got to break it down, figure out what are the main areas, and then in those individual areas, how can I show up for myself every single day? Because then there's no question. I don't have to doubt myself on mile 20, mile 18. Oh, here we got another good point for the Life is a Marathon book. But I don't have to doubt myself because I know I've put in the training, put in the work. This is who I am now, The ultimate confidence is in finished work. And so the miles that I've done in the past will allow me to know that I can do it now. If you're running your first marathon, you don't know how to run the race. All of us are running our first marathon with life. But you can learn from other people who have gone through it. And as well, you can experience the lives of others through conversation, through reading a book, through listening to a podcast, whatever it is, right? To kind of not shortcut, but to teach you those lessons, as well to kind of train you on how to run your race better. We can all be doing better in some way. Learning what that is allows you to move forward, up. And who wouldn't want that for their life, And this is what Peterson talks about a lot. A lot of what I say is very similar to his things because that's kind of unlocked that within me, is listening to his content. Prime example of moving forward, maturing myself by experiencing the wisdom of others, That's how you're able to have the confidence that I have during these marathons in your own life, is that I've run 6 marathons. So this weekend when I go in and run Myrtle Beach, I'm going to probably run like a 3-hour, 45-minute marathon, a little bit slower, so that I can show up the next day and run another marathon in Little Rock, Arkansas. But then I have the confidence. I've run 6 marathons. I can run 2 more. It's nothing, And there's no doubt in my mind. Not even like when I say that, it pops up and then immediately I just throw it back down. I'm like, no. I ran 16 and 17 miles and that was 2 months ago. And that was before I ran all these marathons. I'm fully prepared now to take on a double marathon weekend. If you want to have that confidence in your own life, then you experience other people, learn from them, go out and experience things on your own. You can't live your whole life or live out someone else's life fully. You can only taste it. So the difference between this and the marathons, I can go out and run a marathon. But when you're thinking of life as a marathon, that's a full life. So it's almost as if you only have one attempt at this thing. You see what I mean? Marathons, you have several attempts. That's the main disconnect, is that with life, you only have one chance. But you can learn, you can taste from all these different people to try and figure out how to live it better. So I'm going to continue to learn from other people. I'm going to continue to surround myself with great people to pull that greatness out of me. I know that I can be great if I meet the right people, if they pull that out of me. If someone puts me in a situation, or if I put myself in a situation where other people will pull that greatness out of me, It's starting to rain. I got to make sure that everything's good outside. I think I left. No, my phone's right here. Sorry, that was dumb. Atlanta Marathon was good. Let's go into this weekend with the confidence that we can put our best foot down because we've put in the work and have no doubt whatsoever in our ability to do great things. I'm going to find someone to race with to pull that greatness out of me so that on Sunday, when I run a back-to-back marathon, my first ever, I can show up for myself and make my future self proud, Woo, it's good life. Why don't us?